Hi, my name is Tina Leader, and today we're talking about vocal exercises for leaders. So if you haven't checked out my video on how to speak like a leader in a meeting, then go ahead and click on the description below after this video is done. Otherwise, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already so I can see you on my next series of these videos. The vocal exercises I'm about to show you is based on three different things. It's confidence, dynamic, and articulation. So based on those three different things, I'm going to show you daily exercises that you can do every single morning that'll take less than 5 minutes and increase your confidence level, increase your articulation and dynamics when you go into a meeting, when you go to a networking event, when you speak to your potential clients. So here we go. Confidence. When we talk about confidence, we're really talking about comfortability. When you're comfortable in a situation, you're usually more relaxed, right? You're not tensed up. Your muscles aren't tensed, right? You're not getting jittery or nervous. You're comfortable. You're relaxed, right? You know what's going on. You're breathing deeply. And so that is what we're going to do. We're going to exercise breathing deeply so we can speak from our diaphragm, our powerhouse, and not our chest area, because our chest area says we're not confident. Our chest area says we're tensing up because we're nervous. Our diaphragm, however, it says that we're speaking like a leader. It says that we're comfortable in this environment and that you are completely in control of the conversation. So let's go ahead and do the breathing exercises. So first, we're going to start off with an inhale for 5 and exhale for 5. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here we go. Inhale. Again. So now we're going to inhale and then exhale 10 using the numbers. So it's actually saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. When you inhale, you don't have to do a 10 inhale. You actually want to do a shorter inhale. So maybe about 3 to 5, right? Like we did with the inhale, exhale exercise. But this time you want to control your exhale and make it 10. So make sure you say it out loud, and that way you can really engage if you're speaking from your diaphragm or if you're running out of breath and you're speaking from your chest. Okay, so ready? Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that is 10. Let's do it one more time. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so that was 10. Now, as you go along on a daily, you do that twice. If you can do 15, go to 15. Right? After that, if you feel like you could do 20, challenge yourself to go to 20. The more you can control your breath, your exhale, because we speak on our exhale, then the better you're going to be as far as controlling your diaphragm and the way you're speaking from here. Because when we run out of breath and we're talking so much, which is something I have a problem with, I tend to go into my chest area instead of my diaphragm, but that's because I'm running out of breath. So just a quick overview, we inhale for 5 and exhale for 5, and we do that 2 different times. And then we move on to inhaling and then numbering 1 to 10, inhaling, numbering 1 to 15, and inhaling, numbering 1 to 20. And you do that as much as you can, as far as you can go until you hit 25. And once you hit that 25, just keep doing that exercise. Moving on to dynamics. So when you are speaking, you do not want to speak in a monotone tonality, because that's so boring and nobody wants to hear it, right? So we want to speak in dynamics, but if you're not used to speaking in dynamics, then it might feel a little bit uncomfortable. It might feel really weird, which is why we want to exercise on a daily basis to exercise that muscle. So by the time you're speaking, it's easier to get in the flow of dynamics. So the exercise is called scaling, and you know you do not have to be a singer for this. I'm not a singer, but this is how it sounds like. Me, 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 right? So whatever your vocal range is, go from a deeper tonality to all the way to the top, and then top to bottom. So I suggest to do this every day 5 times, just 5 times, so your vocal cords and your brain can get used to the fact that you have a range of tonality and a range of ways to say your sentences, your lines, and the way you speak to another person. Articulation. So this is something that I personally struggle with a lot because I originally am from Japan. I grew up speaking Japanese, and then I transitioned. See, there you go again. I transitioned over speaking to English. So sometimes I'll trip up on my words. This is something I learned in my acting class. We did a lot of tongue twisters in order to make sure we can articulate the best that we can. The most famous one is red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, right? So say that 10 times over and over right after the next. I challenge you, say that 10 times. You can say it with me. Red leather, yellow leather, 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 red leather, yellow leather. That was quite hard. Towards the end, it was getting a little, right? So that's something that you can do 10 times just to practice your articulation. Here's another one that I really love if you want to switch things up, and you can do this 5 times because it's a longer sequence. So it goes like this. Whether the weather be cold or whether the weather be hot, we'll weather the weather, whatever the weather, whether we like it or not. So this time, let's do it together, and let's do it together 5 times in a row. Whether the weather be cold or whether the weather be hot, we'll weather the weather, whatever the weather, whether we like it or not. Whether the weather be cold or whether the weather be hot, we'll weather the weather, whatever the weather, whether we like it or not. Whether the weather be cold or whether the weather be hot, we'll weather the weather, whatever the weather, whether we like it or not. Whether the weather be cold or whether the weather be hot, we'll weather the weather, whatever the weather, whether we like it or not. Whether the weather be cold or whether the weather be hot, we'll weather the weather, whatever the weather, whether we like it or not. Comment below if you want to commit and actually really commit, and you're not just saying this, but actually putting it into your morning routine every morning, because just like a warrior going out to the battlefield, we have to train beforehand, right? So by the time you meet somebody in person, potential clients, right? Or you're in a meeting, or maybe you're even speaking on camera, you are so well prepared because you've been training every single day. Go ahead and hit that like button if you liked today's content. And of course, subscribe so you can see the next coming videos. I'll see you then.